All right, Mama G here. Well, I'm off to Mexico City for the week, so I'm not going to be live with you on Wednesday for week 3 in our. So I hate to cook, so let's cook once and enjoy more than twice. So we're doing Italian, right? We've done Asian night, we've done Greek night, now we're doing Italian, and this is again courtesy of Trader Joe's. And again, I'm using MyFitnessPal, and we'll share all of that with you, but we're going to use a couple different things. I've got Trader Joe's whole wheat spaghetti in here. Your portion is not what this package tells you, nor what you think that you should be consuming. We're also using Trader Joe's Italian style turkey meatloaf. So a little bit less fat, sometimes a lot less fat than the ground beef version because they're not usually using the 93.7 or 92.8, which is what Trader Joe carries, lean turkey. But it's a great punch of protein. And again, I've talked about the protein in your life, especially animal protein, being an accoutrement, like my glasses, like my necklace. It's part of your meal, but it's not the whole plate. We really need to focus on more plants. So what I know about this, when I got it into MyFitnessPal or whatever type of app you want to use, is that I'm getting a sixth of it, which in reality is a very nice portion. All right, so you can kind of see what that looks like here. 3 slices, 1/6 of that loaf. So this meatloaf will actually give 6 servings. So you could actually, we're cooking for 3. You can actually freeze the rest for another time, or you can certainly use it for family and friends. So we've got the pasta going over here. This is a 1.5 teaspoon measurement, which is nice because when I put this into an app to figure out what we need in terms of getting that female portion of about 400 calories, getting enough vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, right, getting the appropriate amount of protein, getting that starcher grain which you deserve and need, not only for the fiber, not only for the vitamins and minerals, but for joy. We're going to do a little combination of grape tomatoes, which are fantastic when you saute them. So I'm going to get my Trader Joe's Dorat garlic, which I love. I'm not a big fan of chopping up my own garlic. I really don't like the flavor taste of the, of the jar of garlic. So this is super easy. I buy about 10 of them when I go. I stick them in my freezer, and as I need them, I need them. So I've got my olive oil in here. I'm going to show you this little doohickey here, but I am taking my package of green beans from Trader Joe's. They've got a couple different varieties, so pick whatever you like. They were raw. I put them in my little handy dandy collapsible steamer. Of course, you know, it's an Amazon thing, but you know, it can steam any kind of vegetable I want, and then I can saute it. So I literally steamed it for 2 minutes. Took the lid off, got everything ready, but now it stores really easily, and I'll just rinse it out and use it again. So always a little salt and pepper. Now because mostly what we're doing, little pepper, we're not having to use a lot of products that have added sodium. As a matter of fact, nothing has it except for this particular foodstuff, which is about 540 milligrams for a quarter package, which means we're getting around 400 milligrams. And at the end of our day, at the end of our meal, it's a really low amount of sodium. So when people say, well, I got to cut out my sodium, then I say cut out the processed, highly processed foods, get back to cooking real food, and you won't have to worry about it. So I actually did this in a wrong order. I wanted to put my grape tomatoes in here first. So you're going to do it the other way. I'm going to take this out, throw this in the bowl here. Jiminy crickets, get you guys all confused. That would be my last move, but I'm going to go ahead and stick my grape tomatoes into here. Again, this is 1 package of grape tomatoes from Trader Joe's. It's 16 ounces. And you would have put your oil in here, a little salt and pepper, and you're going to see what happens with that. Meanwhile, I'm going to taste my pasta and see if we're getting al dente. So al dente means to the bite, which means when you bite it, you don't really want to taste the crunch and the white inside of there, which is where we're at right now. So I'm going to let that keep going. Now, the way this is going to work, my friends, is we're going to get a little bit of a char on all these sides, and then we're going to cover it. So I really highly recommend a big saute pan. I love this one. I buy this at Costco when it's on sale. I buy more than one. Keep one in there for me when, eventually somebody scratches it, but we're doing a really good job because a couple things we do at my house, certain rules. We keep, you can keep a washcloth, you can keep these little things I bought at Home Good in between your non-sticks so that they don't scratch each other. Plus, we are really diligent about using wood or using things that are Teflon-y, all right? So you don't use any type of metal in your non-sticks because once you scratch them, it's time to go. So make some rules in your house and make everybody stick to it. And guess what? They don't want to follow the rules. I don't think you use your pots and pans. Don't know what to say. So we talked about the whole wheat spaghetti. Trader Joe's used to carry a lot of different whole wheat, whole grain products, but they're not anymore, which is a little bit of unfortunate. So really anywhere you can buy whole wheat products. Sprouts has a wide variety, the Kroger's, the Albertsons, all of those stores have a wide variety. You find what you want. And you're gonna see they're all about 100 calories per ounce, even though the serving size is gonna say 180, 190, 200, 210, based on 2 ounces. I am sorry, ladies. You do not get that serving size. You men do. They have more muscle mass, more size. They have a larger calorie budget than us, whether or not we're trying to lose weight, main weight, or gain weight. So it's really important to understand portion sizes. Pick the pasta you like. I just want to point out, for a segment of the population who doesn't want to consume gluten. Now, I will tell you, as a nutritionist, highly educated, the only people that really are not supposed to, who cannot ever consume gluten, are people with celiac disease, which is 1% of the population. So it's not a lot of us. What I think ends up happening is that so many of us choose so many poor quality refined wheat products that are high in fat, high in sodium, high in sugar, that we don't have any self-control, so we just say we're going to get rid of the gluten in our lives, when in reality, how about you just get rid of the crap in your lives and try a little gluten? Because the gluten really does provide a lot of value in terms of variety of your food, nutrition, and all those things. Unfortunately, I'm just adding a little water to simulate when I had the oil in there and all of that. One of those days, what can I say? I'm going to check my pasta one more time, and I'll bet you that it's ready to go. And so, again, I've made 3 portions here, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be portioning this up, because when I go off to Mexico tomorrow, guess what? I'm taking food for my travel partner and I. We're going to be putting them in our little containers, and we're going to have a nice little cold meal of meatloaf and pasta, which will be delicious. No concern whatsoever. So again, if I would have sauteed these with a little bit of olive oil, it would have popped the tomatoes a little bit. So I'm going to let it go here for a minute. The pasta's done. So, this is where I'm going to tell you, I can eyeball it. But because we're talking about such a small amount of pasta, I'm going to get my handy dandy scale out. I'm going to get this was a salad spinner drainer thing, and then my salad spinner broke, but I think it's a great, nice, lightweight thing that I can measure things with. So I've got it on 0. I'm going to walk this over to the sink, drain my pasta. I'll be right back with you. And then I'm going to weigh it, and I'm going to see what the weight comes out to. And then I know that it's going to be 1/3 of this. So this is 7 ounces. So it's going to be 2, 4, 6 ounces. So 2 and 1/3. Hello, Olivia. Ounces of pasta. So we'll set that aside here, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Hello, Olivia, my pretty princess. I heard there were dolphins and whales and all kinds of great things happening.
Dolphins pretending to be whales.
Unbelievable. Oh. All right. Hello, my lovely. Okay. So now you can start to see that these tomatoes are popping, all right? And that's exactly what we want. So we'll just bring it up to heat a little bit more, let it get nice and hot and bubbly, and let those tomatoes pop. We'll add the green beans to it, a little taste, a little salt and pepper again if needed, probably not, and a little red pepper flakes from Mama G and her friends. So we've got our starcher grain coming from the whole grain, whole wheat pasta. We've got our veggies coming from our grape tomatoes and string beans. And we've got our protein and fat coming from our beautiful turkey meatloaf. This is really a lovely meal, easy to heat up in the microwave for 4 minutes or so. If you take it to work, you have it another day. But at the end of the day, in a few minutes, we put together a meal that hits your calorie budget, that allows you to have joy and drives your nutrition. So it's really important. So I was talking about the whole wheat, whole grain stuff. So Trader Joe's, as I mentioned, don't carry a lot of those. They carry this brown rice and quinoa fusilli pasta, which I'll tell you makes a really good pasta when I use my Mama G's healthified mac and cheese sauce. But I will tell you, for this 200 calorie serving, which you don't get, so you're going to get 1 1/4 servings. There's going to be less than 1 gram of fiber in here. And I'm really not a fan of the lack of fiber. And then when we look at the ingredients, we're looking at brown rice, quinoa flour, and water. And I'll tell you that, we consume enough rice in my house, from brown rice, red rice, different kinds of rices in the house, that I don't necessarily need to have another rice. So I'm going to pass this on to somebody who would like it in my house. I think my daughter loves it. And then another thing for those of you who are not wanting to consume gluten for whatever reason, there's a bunch of bean pastas out there. This happens to be a lentil pasta, which is a legume. And again, you're going to have about a half of a serving, 100 to 125 calories, and you just have to play with it. I will tell you that I'm not a fan of a lot of the bean pastas. I don't like the texture. It doesn't float my boat. We consume so many other starches and grains in the Mama G lifestyle that I will stick with my whole wheat pasta for the once a week or so or twice a week or so that I have it, unless I'm batch cooking like I'm teaching you here. But again, this meal can be served with brown rice frozen from Trader Joe's. I mean, you can partner this with anything. Lentils from Trader Joe's. Now look at what happened. Oh, my hand. Look at what happened to that. Beautiful. So this is ready to go. We've got our string beans ready to go. And as I mentioned in previous episodes, that you can certainly weigh this and divide it by 3 and put it into your portions, or you can simply guesstimate. I really don't care. The fact is, I need you to get those non-starchy vegetables, because we Americans, really globally, nobody's getting enough. And I'll tell you what, you're going to hear from me when I'm in Mexico City. You will see the lack of wholesome food. Anywhere I go in the world, I'm always shocked, in Europe even. And, the highly processed, ultra-processed foods make their way worldwide, and it's really a tragedy. So let's do a little bit of taste. Really delicious. Of course, I already told you that I'm gonna add my red pepper flakes to my own, because I don't know if my roomie for the mix will like. But again, I'm gonna give it a little pinch of salt. The pasta literally has no salt added to it. This is added by me, so it's a minimal amount to taste. And then we've got the meatloaf where we have that as well. So I'm gonna show you what I would do. Again, make this the way you want. Right? Not a big deal. But Mama G is going to use her bowl that she already has. Now this is a little bit of a heavy bowl, but it's okay because my scale usually can tolerate it. So I'm going to put it on the scale. It's on 0 ounces. And all I'm simply going to do, if I can do it one-handed, you see me, hopefully when I get back, I will be good to go. And there we are. All right, a couple little bits in here that I'll get out. But at the end of this thing, I've got just a little over 21 ounces, which is 7 ounces each. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to plate up. All right. So here's my little container. I'm going to put this on here and clear it. Now, I already told you I needed a little over 2 1/3 ounces is what I get here. So I'm going to put that in my bowl. Okay, there is just about it. And you're going to see, like, hey friends, you may think you don't get to eat any pasta. I'm telling you, you get to eat pasta, but it is not in the quantity that you think, not in the amount that you serve yourself, not in the amount you're getting served, certainly when you are out to dinners. So it's a reality check for a lot of you. What you're going to get is a lot of beautiful vegetables. I cleared the scale. I told you you're going to get about 7 ounces on this. And Get some of these luscious, delicious tomatoes. Nothing like roasted or sauteed tomato. Absolutely nothing. They are fantastic. And another string bean or two. A little bit more grape tomatoes. And there's our 7 ounces right there. And then I'm going to simply take my 4 ounces of meatloaf that I've already sliced and lay that right in here. And I'm going to tell you that this is a fantastic meal. 400 calories, well over 20 plus grams of protein, just the right amount of fat to keep you full and to make you feel joyful in your meal. And voila, Mama G's meal prepping at its finest, except it's called cooking once and enjoying more than twice. We'll get you kind of the build out of this recipe, and we hope you enjoy.